We've already shown you step 1 of our 10-step detail. Now, for step 2, we'll be cleaning the engine and the engine bay prior to focusing on the interior, the paint, and so on. Find out how, and more importantly, why we clean the engine compartment so early in the detailing process on this episode of Autoblog Details. Okay, so I'm guessing you're wondering, of all the areas to detail, why are we cleaning the engine first? Well, that's a fair question. Detailing the engine is a bit messy with respect to the paint. Water will inadvertently be sprayed on the windshield, the fenders, the front grille, and if we did this step towards the end of our detailing process, we'd be working over the clean areas and potentially scratching the paint we just cleaned. First, make sure the engine is cool to slightly warm before working safely. If it's boiling hot, start working on the interior of the car and leave the hood open to cool. Come back in about 30 minutes. Next, remove trapped dirt, twigs, and leaves stuck in the hood jambs and fresh air vents. Use your hand or compressed air if you have any available. Using water to dislodge the junk only makes a globby mess of debris that drips into the holes and can be a hassle to remove. Afterwards, quickly cover up any exposed electrical parts with a plastic bag, saran wrap, or aluminum foil will do the trick. Alternators, air filters, fuse boxes, and so on are good places to cover. The goal here is to add a bit of safety if the hose water should make direct contact with that area. If your car happens to have an exposed dipstick, wrap some tape around it to avoid water dripping down the dipstick and into your oil reservoir. Now, with the hose on wide or fan mode, lightly rinse down the engine and then liberally spray all-purpose cleaner while trying to avoid overspray on the paint. Immediately afterwards, scrub with a wheel brush, a paintbrush, a toothbrush, or a toothpick type tools for these tight spots. And whatever you do, do not allow the all-purpose cleaner to dry on the engine parts. Remember, in most cases, the engine is usually somewhat warm, so the evaporation can be a bit quicker than you might think. So lightly rinse again if it's starting to dry too fast. Now, fully rinse the all-purpose cleaner off and double-check the areas that you may have missed. If you missed anything, repeat the same steps. Keep in mind, while you're working, make sure to lightly clean off any drips on the paint or glass, especially if you're in direct sunlight, as this may leave watermarks and will only add more work to your job later. Now, with the dirt and grease gone, dry your engine with compressed air or an electric blower, while wiping with a used microfiber towel at the same time. Once nearly dry, carefully remove all the plastic protection and then continue cleaning by hand with a microfiber towel. Before moving forward, start the engine and let it run for about 2 to 3 minutes to make sure all the fuses and computer components are functioning properly, while getting some heat buildup in the engine to promote evaporation. Finally, dress the plastic components on the engine with a water-based tire dressing. Once satisfied with your coverage, go back and lightly wipe the dressing down to avoid attracting dust and dirt before it dries. Although engines aren't the first thing people see when looking at your car, it's a healthy and quick process to degunk the engine at least twice a year if driven daily. Okay, the next step in the process is a big one, your interior. To watch the next video in the series, visit autoblog.com/details. I'm Larry Casilla from ammonyc.com. See you next time.